It is time to deploy capital. Happy Monday. Let's get straight into this. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to understand in terms of news and the price levels and price action expectations that we currently have from different coins. And a lot of people will get burned on this here. A lot of people will lose everything and will get liquidated and will say that crypto is a scam and trading is also a scam. So let's just dive straight into this. And if you're going to look at the performance of Bitcoin, as I drew my, I love these predictions, but anyway, as I actually was drawing it here, it wasn't precise, but I was expecting kind of to see an up move soon. However, there is a reason why this up move has happened. And if you pay attention, we actually broke out, we retested it, and we are actually going higher, testing the local micro high. And to break the structure would be the breakage of 91,000, which could happen just because of one piece of news I'm going to show you, which is, to be honest, pretty freaking crazy. So, and then I'm going to show you some trade setups that I think is going to be worthy to start accumulating into promising assets. So, but again, not financial advice, is what I'm personally doing, and I also show you everything transparently. So let's get into this. First, let's talk about news, but also about our financial academy, which is going to be part of our ecosystem and part of our Evadex exchange. Actually, if you don't know what Evadex is, you should really check it out. So our financial academy is basically where we, like, it's a very big group of coaches and stuff where we teach money management, financial planning, proper investing, trading strategies, etc. And it's not just about trading, it's also about low risk, funding rate, farming concepts and staking, and what we've been doing, what I've been doing with a lot of money. But that's like 10, 15, 20% yield per year, but it's almost like zero risk. So all of these things, so that's why it's like 10x wealth building system that has taken me personally from, you can actually study my history here, which all is actually trackable on my social media, some of it, because I didn't have social media at 16. How I started at 16, my money and like what I was doing, you can actually read about it. My entire journey for the last 15 years, how I got to my first million, then how I got to my about 12 million, and how I got to almost 100 million at the age of 30. Certainly it does include the current official valuation of our exchange Evadex. So that's why it's, a lot of people will freak out about the current net worth, but that's what it is. So now moving on, and there's actually this waiting list for this huge financial academy for millions of people that want to change their life. It's available to them. The only thing they can do is just join it and see what they can learn. So there is a link to the waiting list down in the description of this video. Now moving on to the news. First of all, I think that, as I've said so many times before, that one of the biggest reasons why we had such a negative price action was because of tariffs and because of this uncertainty that Trump was creating in the market in general. But I think at this point, most of it is already priced in, and Trump will give his final verdict on 2nd of April on tariffs, which will be 2nd of April tariffs within the next 72 hours. And if there is no tariffs, we'll see a big pump, and I kind of agree here. And if there is going to be tariffs again, it's not going to be a nuke, but it's going to not be great. It's going to go just basically put us back into the same consolidation before the final move, when everything is finally priced in. So pay attention to this. But when it comes to negativity, it's about it. Now, President Trump posted about his Trump coin. Finally, after so much time, he just proved that he didn't forget about it. And it's all, as I told you so many times, and guys, tell me in the comments, call me Mr. Sporton, because I told you it's all part of a big, big plan. If you think it's all random, think again, my friends. And if you look at Trump coin, actually, just quickly having a look at the chart itself, we had this very nice trade setup, which for me, unfortunately, it didn't hit my actual entry point by a few cents, or like it was very small. So if you've taken it, then the target was about $13. But the problem is that it took so long for us to finally see an up move, and this is actually the candle at which Trump actually posted about it. But look at the technical analysis. It actually has hit this resistance. So that's why it's kind of scary. If you've taken this trade after I posted it, put your stop loss somewhere at like $10 just in case, because if it does reverse from here, it could, because again, I'll discuss everything. It might not hit the take profit soon enough. So just be careful with it. And if you've taken the trade and you have a profit on this, congratulations. Now, so this was a really cool thing from Trump about the meme coin. But what is the coolest thing, what is currently fueling the rally of Bitcoin, is this right here. Bo Hines, which is, he is the White House. He's part of the White House Committee on Digital Assets, Crypto, etc. So he reveals that the United States may sell its gold to buy Bitcoin. And that this news Bitcoin started pumping. Targeting a 1 million Bitcoin reserve, right now they hold 200,000. 5% of the total supply via the Bitcoin Act of 2025, positioning the US as global crypto leader. Now this is huge. So, and that's what I told you. Part of the plan, make a lot of FUD, a lot of fear, kick people out, get people liquidated, and then throw in some very good news slowly. And then once the market realizes, holy shit, it's happening, this is where the God candles come. So, given that, let's have a look at what we can expect, generally speaking, when it comes to, I'm going to give you my price targets and stuff. So we had this nice breakout, kind of a retest, but our target now is like 91K, but degening into the long here is probably not going to be smart, so I'm going to show you some interesting levels that I'm interested in. Well, we'll get to it. When it comes to Ethereum, also, it kind of is showing some kind of hopium, but the volume is still very low for my taste, and 2100 is still a very, very important level of resistance, so be careful with your longs here. Trump coin, we've actually discussed, looking all right. When it comes to Solana, actually Solana, we have it right here. I still have this trade on Solana. I've put my stop loss right here just because, you know, if it does turn, I want to really make at least a tiny bit for ice cream. So, and the take profit all over to 149. So, but overall, and certainly, guys, you can see that I'm trading over on Bybit. If you want to trade on Bybit too, you can claim up to 42% discount on trading fees with the link down in the description this video. And you can always create a different account with a different form of identification if you want to claim that bonus and actually save yourself a shit ton of money. Okay, so when it comes to the actual setups that I'm looking at, I just showed you our setups, the previous ones, but overall my expectation is, here is what I'm interested in. When it comes to Bitcoin, depending on what is going to happen, longing from here right now like a degen, I wouldn't be doing this because usually the market right now is still practically too weak and we still have this hopium of money printing, but it might take some time. So we might reverse. So this is buy side liquidity right here. You have to be very careful. And what really interests me is like 84, 85K in this zone. And this is the zone from which I'd be interested in starting to work a little bit. So when it comes to the dominance, that's the problem for right now for altcoins because the dominance is still really, really high. But this is the rejection block and buy sell liquidity here as well that we want to pay attention to. But out of altcoins that interests me is Ethereum Classic, just because Ethereum is relatively weak now and there might be some kind of exit liquidity pump in Ethereum Classic, but not from here. Again, I'm interested in something like $17 and $16 and a half. I think that there is this fair value gap that could be very interesting. And LDO, which is, again, staking is being introduced into all ETFs, guys. It's happening. So an LDO is the biggest TVL in Ethereum when it comes to staking. So it is going to pump to the moon, in my opinion. I hold a lot of it in spot. I hold a lot of LDO, so full disclosure. But overall, I think that the interesting target here, and this wouldn't be a day trade, this would be a swing trade, actually, would be around $1 at the 4-hour candle right here. So at the 4-hour level right here, this is the level I would be looking at for any long trades. And overall, this is my expectation for the market. This is what I want to take. So I think right now with everything that is happening and overall, if you're looking at the performance of different assets and you actually zoom out and you actually pay attention to what it is, like it's kind of starting to slow down in terms of its down move. So and possibly, just possibly, the bottom was hit, and then just another one liquidity swap, and then slowly going higher and going into the bull run when Fed finally pivots. So this is my expectation. Check out this quick tutorial popping up on your screen as to how to trade Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies with proper risk and money management, and I'll see you next video.